Dream warrior, ain't gonna dream no more. I'm a dream warrior.
Hey.
Hey.
What's up, man? Looking beautiful.
I'm here. Oh, what's all this white stuff? What the hell is that?
Yeah, that happens. Well, look, this is from working with you.
Yeah. What can I say? It's not like I don't know the nature of the problem.
Right, yeah. Well, so Brandon, where do you live? You live in East Tennessee, right?
Yes, I do. Right in the tourist capital of hell, known as
Pigeon
Sevier
Forge?
County. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to live. I went to school. I actually graduated high school from Sevier County. I was a smoky
Really?
beer. Yep.
Oh my God, I live 5 minutes away from the high school.
Well, there you go. You probably saw me there at some point.
I actually didn't grow up here. I grew up in Morristown originally, but I've been here for about 16 years. Yeah.
Wow. So I'm the only one on this call that's not in Tennessee. That sucks.
Head over to the East Coast.
So you're east of me, right? We're right in the middle.
Yeah, I'm east of you. Yes.
Yeah, we're Nashville, so we're right. Wow, you can't be more than 2 hours away then.
It ends up being about 3 hours, give or take, from Nashville. But you're not actually in Nashville, are you? You're in Gallatin.
I'm in Gallatin, so I am actually already like 40 minutes east of Nashville.
Okay, so you're closer than
Yeah,
probably about 2.5 hours, give or take.
Yeah. I mean, when I get lost on the freeway, I wind up in Kentucky.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Don't ever let that happen.
Oh wait, I swear to God, it happens all the time. I'm like, oh shit, I'm in Kentucky again.
I wouldn't wish that hell on anybody.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm from California. All seems a little weird. It all seems a little weird.
Fair enough.
Well, so we have Brandon here. We should probably say who this guy is that we're talking to. But this is Brandon Lane. He's a superstar in my opinion. He does a podcast.
Yeah.
And he has a really cool collection behind him. I'm impressed by this. I'm looking at everything.
You can't even see half the behind me. My head's gigantic and it takes up all the space. But yeah, I'm a collector of all things strange. That's why I'm a big fan of your podcast. It fits right in with my sensibilities.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, so we have you on the show because we have a fresh new look, right, Mick?
Yes,
well,
we have
as
a
you can
brand
see,
new look.
Look at Mick. He's very well lit.
Yeah, really. I'm trying a new red light. How do you like my red light?
It's very Dream Warrior.
Yeah.
It's got it does. It has a Dream Warrior look overall, doesn't it? But I'm kind of digging that. That's my new highlight.
It's looking kind of like a Fabio photo shoot a little bit.
What I didn't think it would do is take this whole side of my hair and turn it white. That's just kind of weird. Well,
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, but you see, we're going full video now.
Yes.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. This is actually our first episode with full video. Hopefully it'll work.
Yeah, we're gonna tie this together with the episode with Josh.
Yeah. So coming up later in this episode, we're gonna have Josh Hamilton and Saren Graymorn. Yeah, I think that's how I pronounce his name. They're from Crypt Amnesia. Yeah. It's an amazing band.
And you guys all together have
Yes.
have helped us to revamp the music. My cat's over there in the corner in my chair, spinning it around in circles.
As long as his head isn't spinning, you're okay.
I know. I didn't know that it could do that. I know.
Wow.
The cat or your chair?
No, either one. So yeah, you guys are helping to pull together our new opening and our music.
Yes.
And the and I have to say, the logo is amazing. It ties together all of my favorites.
Yes.
Well, that was obviously intentional. I knew when you threw this task up on Facebook, I'm I know exactly how to get to your heart.
Didn't they go together well though? Come on.
They really did. They really did. I think the thing came together very well.
Slid right into each other.
And I gave you kind of the framework, and you had some great ideas, and so we tweaked it and got it just right, and I'm very happy with how it turned out.
It came out really good.
Yeah, we got some weird ones, like one that said Dream Weaver. I was like, don't think we can use that one.
Yeah, there was some interesting attempts at graphics. You know, I mean, attempts at graphics.
Yeah,
it's weird because really, this is something that I learned as a production designer is I could never do graphics because the attention to detail and meticulousness and just enough. I want to tell somebody else to do that.
right.
I don't want to do it myself.
There you go.
There you go.
My background is actually in graphic design, so this all came together pretty easily for me. I've kind of left that aspect of my life a little to the side, but I still do commission stuff on occasion. And when this opportunity came up, I instantly knew what to do, and I had it in my head, and I just sat down and fiddled for a couple hours and threw it up there. And I know you like Jerry Berry and the Grateful Dead, so it just all fit together perfectly.
Oh, absolutely.
Just all had to come together. Yeah, you know that's kind of the way that I am about working on film. When I'm working on film, I mean things are obvious to you, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah, super obvious. You know, it's there's that thing when I get on a set, everything is that way. It's super obvious. You know, it's like, oh, why can't you see this? In fact, I've gotten myself in trouble before with that. It's like, why can't you see it? I remember I was working on Mantis, and we actually had it was in the 90s, and we were using this brand new camera that shot film at the same time that it had a video takeoff, and the video takeoff was one of the first full quality video takeoffs that they had. And what they did is they took it and they dropped it to a CD, and then took the CD. No, they didn't have CDs. What am I saying? They took it off and they put it immediately onto a hard drive that must have been pretty close to the size of a school bus. but then they could take it off of that and they could edit it on what was the new thing back then was they had it was the first of the nonlinear
Avid probably.
Avid. They could do it on. They could edit it on an Avid, and then they could give you dailies on the Avid that were supposedly going to be exactly. You could edit it by the end of the day, right? That was a super surprise, right? So the editors would just glom onto this thing, and they would be editing. And the problem is the image wasn't 100%. It was probably about 60% of what you would actually want, you know, because it's new and it was Panavision's new camera, and we were like running a beta test for it, and so then we stopped. You know, the first week we did these like you normally would, but we were editing at the same time, right? Which kind of presents a problem because what we would edit, and then we were going to take, and when we were done with the film, with this film, we would then take the original stock and cut it only once according to the way that we had laid it out with the Avid. See what I'm saying? So it was a great shortcut. You didn't actually edit in film. You just edited. You just took the final and laid it out on film, right? Well, if that sounds complicated and screwed up, boy, it turned out to be really complicated and screwed up. Because here's what immediately happens. What immediately happens is that you have dailies just like you would normally, but you're still rocking along with the video, right? And so after a while, you don't have dailies as much as you had bi-dailies, which meant, dailies every 2 days, because we're doing great with this video cutting, right? And then it was, you know what? We're just gonna we'll shoot. We'll have dailies every 3 days. It was twice a week, right? And then in the last week of shooting, we had so much stuff to shoot that we shot really long hours, and we decided, we weren't even gonna do dailies. We're just gonna go through to the end. We haven't had any problems yet, and evidently we started on the Monday, and on Tuesday the camera gear slipped so that the film was half framing, right?
Oh yeah.
So, and here's the thing. You have to think about it. This is how things were still in the 90s. Things with a 35 millimeter camera, it was literally, you adjusted the shutter, how the angle, the degree of the shutter, you literally adjusted it with a screwdriver. You went and you opened up body up and you said, hey, we're going to have to have a 120 degree shutter. Oh, great. So the camera guy would go, 120 degrees. You get the shutter up there and he'd hold it at what was approximately 120 degrees, because Bob's 120 degrees was always different than Tom's, right? You crank it down with a screwdriver, really crank it in there, then put the camera back together.
Wow.
So it slipped on Tuesday, and so they finally didn't even develop the film until like Monday of the week after, right? We shot clear through Saturday, right? And so we're there at the stage ready to take all the sets down, and all of a sudden this PA comes in and goes, no, you have to freeze everything. It's like, what? You're kidding me? And the guys are and the guys are still pulling the lights off of the sets, right? It's like, and this was a complicated set. It was Mantis, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's a complicated set,
I do remember it from my childhood. Not to
okay,
throw shade on us our age
that-
difference, but I was a wee lad.
Weren't we all?
Well, this was the pilot movie. It was kind of better looking than the thing that they.
Oh
wound
yeah,
up with in the long-
way
I'm
better
not
than the
gonna go
TV
into-
series.
I'm not going to go into the rest of that. But anyway, the thing is, so they're half stripped of the lights, and we're already pulling walls apart, right? PA comes in, and he says, no. We had to freeze everything, rebuild what we had, and then next week we started filming everything again.
Oh God!
And here's the thing: now we literally had the cut footage that we had to perfectly imitate, so that because they didn't want to waste all that money that they spent in editing. So literally, angry moments in life. Angry moments in life for a filmmaker, because look, we're not prepared to do things again. It's just not what we do. And we certainly can't do things without improving them one way or the other, right? I mean, we had to shoot it exactly like it was. Oh my God, we were just fist fighting. It was just a fist fight could break out over a breakfast roll. I mean, it was like, oh no, I was reaching for that. Bam! It's just back and forth. Oh my God, we just hated each other, and I just remember just lighting into this guy. It was like you walk in, you say, look, I know what this should be, right? And I tried to explain it to this guy, to to the PM, and unfortunately, it was exactly the same situation that we had as an explanation about a week and a half before. It didn't go well the second time at all because he hadn't got it the first time, and I was being a real dick about it.
No.
No, I mean, I got to say that nobody is more affected by doing it twice than I was. I was like, I was not in the building. I was just not even. To say that my heart wasn't in it also meant that my brain had taken a vacation. So
yeah, I get that. When you do something
Scary
creative,
shit.
you want to move on, right? You put your magic out there, then you're done.
Look, you're either good. You're either good at going into the office every day and building a familiar world, which you're going to be a part of, or you're not. And you know what? My wife hated it. My wife hated me being in the business because, it was just horrendous. Not the hours were always different. The pay, the rate of pay was always different. You could never tell when you were, the lie I told the most in my career was that, honey, I'll be home in an hour. Because that was how it, because that was literally how it started, and by it, I mean all of it. I mean, just like, that was the words that I said that for some reason always brought the PA into my office going, oh my God, there's a fire back there.
Oh man, you probably meant those words though, right?
I meant what?
You meant those words when you told your wife. You meant that, right?
Oh no, it wasn't a lie. Let's say that it was truth with conditions.
Best case scenario.
Right.
Best case scenario, honey. I should have said that. I mean, what do they call total? The total truth would have been if I just said, "Hey, honey, all indicators point towards I'm going to leave this building in an hour."
I'm doing my best. Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing my best. Yeah. Anyway.
Well,
but if I hadn't, we wouldn't have had all this shit to talk about.
Yeah,
right?
we wouldn't be here right now. Well, I've only worked on one official movie, and I don't even think sleep was even in the. I don't even remember sleeping. So whatever.
There was a guy when we were doing a show called Tales from the Dark. No, not Tales. Freddy's Nightmares, and whenever I went out to my car at like 3 or 4 in the morning, before I'd fire it up, I'd make sure that the gaffer wasn't sleeping underneath the car because he just had a thing. I had a 1953 Chevy half-ton. It was called a station wagon, but it was a window panel van, from 1953. It was just a coolest looking thing, and it sat up pretty high in the air. And for some reason, the gaffer would get so stoned and coked up that a lot of times, instead of going home at the end of shooting, he would go and take a nap underneath my truck. And it was
hell of a place to do it.
So weird. It was just telling you, it was like you walk up and I'd walk out, and sometimes I'd get in the car and I go, do I really know that he's not underneath there, And I look and I swear to God, like 30% of the time he was there.
Wow.
And you're like going, God damn, I almost ran over him again.
You roll down the window and just listen for bones breaking.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
Well, I keep thinking to myself, it definitely had one of those old grinder a pound transmissions, So, but by the time I got in reverse, I figured he actually might have just jumped out from underneath there. But so it's like this is the kind of guy who would only the only way that he could stop, would be that he took lewds. And so I was like, I better make sure, like drag him out from underneath there and leave him underneath somebody else's car.
Wow.
It's actually stories like this is my introduction to the podcast. My favorite segment, and I'm hoping this will continue on into the new video form, is Story Time with Mick.
Oh, yeah.
Story Time with Mick. Well, I'm actually going to have, you know what? I actually want to start working on Story Time with Mick.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to start like prepping them ahead.
Oh, we're going to start trying?
I never prepped one ahead in my life.
I kind of like the freeform kind of like meandering kind of like
meandering.
So I'm like, you already told me this 4 times, but I want to hear it again. Well, story time will be part of the show for sure, and then there might even be a surprise story time with Kurt.
Oh, all right.
Yes, that's what we want to see more of. We want to hear story time with Kurt.
Right. Yeah. Mine are usually weird, like outhouses and stuff.
Yeah, the weirder the better.
I mean, I was in Tennessee for a while, so I've got to be weird, right?
You have no idea. I have no idea. Working in a tourist trap in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and we have a mask mandate right now, and people are coming from all around the country, and they're shocked that we're taking any kind of precaution.
Yeah.
So weird.
Hey, look, I live outside of Nashville, and I'm shocked that Walmart. I mean, literally last week is the first time that Walmart stopped letting people in without a mask.
Really?
The first time. Really.
Wow. That's crazy.
Last week.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, this is it. And the thing is still, I want to know what this is about. Pick the youngest human being alive to put in front of people from Tennessee to say, you can't come in here, you don't have a mask. In Tennessee.
Right.
And you know what? Here's the thing. There's still a lot of people in that store without masks because they put the smallest human being. What they need to do is they need to hire, like 3 thugs, or 3 good old boys, to like actually take care of it, because nobody's going to listen to this kid,
Oh, they call that Southern justice.
Southern justice. Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's a lot of Southern justice going on now, I tell you.
Yeah, all over the world.
Most of it's, I was going to say, most of it's down in Florida, Georgia, and hey, listen, by the way, Brandon, I have to tell you, there's something that I learned from you that was, really, and this is God's honest truth. When you put up a podcast, and not particularly in our podcast, but because I was going to say, I'm actually going to start promoting our podcast too.
That helps. It does help.
What? Promotion?
Well, no.
What is that?
Here's what I was going to say. Well, wait a minute, because this guy here, that guy there, that's
well, for me, it's up there.
Of a bitch. That's okay. That son of a bitch really knows how to do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
he does.
I really appreciate you saying that.
I was watching the first time that I did your show, right?
Rants from the Black Lodge podcast.
Right, Rants from the Black Lodge, and I said that I'll do the show, and like that day, at least 4 times it passed on my timeline, right? And I was like, wow, this is the first time that I'd ever seen anybody like just meter it out, dun 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 dun. And I began to notice that every time you had a podcast, that it was dun dun dun. It was like every 2 hours, dun, all the way down the line, and it kept going, and it changed my understanding of how Facebook works, because I've always had this feeling in my head that Facebook was a static thing.
No.
That,
No, definitely not.
that I just read. That I don't know if not only that, it's more than that. It's more than I meant static, like within a day, right?
Yeah.
And it's not even static within 10 minutes. And here's the thing: people are so afraid of posting again and again and again, and I didn't I didn't know that people were afraid of that, but I've noticed that when I've been doing these things for people and I'm trying to talk to everybody and go, no, I learned from this guy that you watch him advertise, and the thing is they say, well, yeah, but it's really boring. And I go, no, you don't understand. You have a different ad.
Yeah.
For every 2 hours for every day, and it makes a huge difference. Me, I just say weird things.
Well, you got that down packed.
Well,
the advertisement angle of my podcast has gotten me in a lot of trouble. So I actually a lot of this stuff. Because you got to read the fine print. If you advertise in these other people's groups, because some of them have where you can only advertise on certain days. Some of them they don't allow advertising at all, and so you try to be respectful of that. But
you see, those are groups, and groups. I don't really have to worry about groups that much because I have 3,500 followers.
Indeed,
and so the thing
and 4 of them follow us.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm one of them.
Yeah,
who the hell are the other 3?
Oh, I'm sure you don't know them. No, the thing is I'm going to start working on all of my podcasts and because I don't have to worry about groups. With 3,500 people, I should, pretty much. And why is it that I got up to 3,500 and really haven't? I mean, I'm at this point. Every once in a while, it goes to 4,000, and then I piss a bunch of people off, or I get tired of their and I unfriend them, right? And it stays at 3,500. It's weird. I mean, that's my number. My number is 3,500.
Rule number 1: do not accept friend requests from people who are into the paranormal.
Oh my God!
You know this.
How many times have I put out?
So many. I have the same problem.
God, they're all crazy. They're out of their minds. How is it that one particular group can be so whacked out?
I don't know how they can believe in ghosts, but not that the world is round. It boggles my mind.
Oh my God! It is the weirdest bunch of people, and every time I'm in a fight with somebody, every time it gets into when I'm going down and I read something just either something that's just absolutely a wackadoodle. What do they call it?
Crackpot.
Well, no, like a story. Like a story that it's just weird, right? And you're going, well, the story that's really weird, something that's incredibly racist, something that's that is the most obvious, statistics from like another planet, or like you said, flat earthers, or I got in a fight with one of them the other day about. I couldn't believe it. It was about what's the monster? The Pacific Northwest monster, right?
Sasquatch or Bigfoot.
Sasquatch, Bigfoot. I had an argument with them about he was putting on about that, and I was like, and it's like every time I go back, paranormal. It's like
what can you do?
I don't get it. I don't understand what the group is.
And the crazy thing is, if any of them die, they can still be on your Facebook page because they'll haunt you.
Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's really weird. It is. I think my sister has a couple of things that her website puts out twice a year. It's like two of them that come up and I get a message from my sister. I go, wow, that's. She hasn't been around for like 6 years. Like not living anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But her Facebook is still there and still cranking away.
Wow.
How do you take care of
She
that?
probably still votes too, doesn't she?
God, I hope not.
Should we share the? So I wanted to kind of build suspense, and I wanted to share with Brandon, Josh, and Saren's work.
I loved both videos.
Yes, both of them were amazing. How did you like our music?
Very cool. Very cool.
Isn't that cool? Yeah.
Can you sing it for us?
Something like that. But no, it's an awesome song. We're gonna play the whole thing at the end of the show. So.
Oh, well, see, now that's amazing. That we're seeing.
There you go. So that's
cool.
it right there. I'm gonna add some sound effects.
That's version 1 of the logo that I'm seeing here.
Yeah,
Oh.
it doesn't have the little pinky to the side.
That's right.
We changed a lot of this.
You did.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that was a good first go, but I knew that we would hone it in and everything, and it turned out
Yeah, because
really
we changed the color of some things, and we made the pinky ready for tea, right?
Yes.
Over
You got
here.
some
Or
got
ready
some
for boil.
fangs.
As Freddie always is, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Keeps you up all
never
night.
sleep again. Oh, well, see, now that's amazing. That we're seeing.
There you go. So that's
so
it
cool.
right there. Thanks for creating that awesome image.
Hey, this lighting actually looks good. I like that gel up there.
We always
There's
come back to
something
Mick and how he looks.
Yeah.
No,
Well, hey, I'm working on this too.
well, I want to hear more about Brandon. I mean, this is his chance to plug his podcast, and I want to hear more about it.
But before I do the grandiose selling of myself, 2 things I want to point out. Number 1, you guys need merchandise. I am wearing my rabbit hole T-shirt.
Oh
Whoa.
yeah, that's right.
But
Now we've got a logo that we can put on a t-shirt.
exactly,
Yeah.
and just saying, your boy might get one for free. It'd be real nice.
Oh, there you go. Okay, now we got a way to pay him back.
There we
you
go.
go.
There you go.
Well, I have my Dream Warrior review shirt on. You want to see it?
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. What do you think?
I could buy a pack of 3 of those at Walmart.
We're actually going to put the logo on there just to really with you.
That's a great idea.
My second thing is that I have a wish list of episodes I think that would be perfect for you guys to do, movies to review potentially in the future. Number 1 is a movie from 1991 that was the only directing effort from Dan Aykroyd, a little film called Nothing But Trouble.
Oh, yeah.
The comedy in this movie does not work. Everybody seems bored, but the production design is so eclectic, and I want to hear your take on that. And more recently, there was a movie from a little company called Strawn 6. They're based out of Canada, and they made this movie entirely on green screen from a film grant, and it's called Manborg. It's as good as you think it is. but it has very interesting use of sets and things. So I'd like to see you tackle that from a filmmaker point of view.
I like the way you used the word interesting.
Yeah. I also like how he wants you to tackle the sex.
The sets.
Oh, the sets. I thought you said sex use of sex. Sorry.
Hey, if it gets you more ratings, there's nothing bad about exploiting a little bit of sex.
All's fair.
By the way, would that work as a keyword, do you think, on all these to get more ratings?
Hey, it couldn't hurt, because I mean, how many 13-year-old boys are out there, sex on Google?
Then they get this and go, "Oh, I don't want sex."
Wow. Speaking of rabbit holes.
But,
Yeah, there you go.
As for me, I'm the free will burning, head turning, ass kicking, machismo driven master podcast and mouthpiece of the Southeast, Brandon A. Lane, host of the Rants from the Black Lodge podcast. We're a monthly retrospective film podcast. We've just passed our 3-year anniversary, and our newest episode is Child's Play. We have Catherine Hicks doing an introduction for us. And she's big television star, Seventh Heaven and all that. And we got Alex Vincent to sit down for a couple and tell us about his exploits on set. And numbers wise, it's doing really well. And this entire year has just been, projecting up. And starting off the year, we did an episode with Mick, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. And it's up there. And I got to say, for the longest time, our most listened to episode was Nightmare on Elm Street 4 with your boy Mick Strawn right here. But unfortunately, it has been surpassed
By what?
Halloween 4. Another 1988 film.
Another 1988 film.
Oh no, at least it wasn't Hellraiser.
It's still holding strong, so anything's possible. But right now, you got edged out just a hair. But that Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 episode, it keeps rising as well. So we may have a slow burn. So who knows? But
Well, you know what? Yeah, but I don't. Were those both video pods, or were they video, or were they?
They're audio.
They're all audio, right?
They're all audio, yeah.
And are you doing audio yet? Or video yet?
We have launched a YouTube channel. I actually have a video project in the works right now that I was basically in pre-production on when the furlough was going on, or the shutdown, where I was home and had a lot of time to really get it cranking. And then I got pulled back. Yes. And I got pulled back to work, so it's kind of taken a back seat. And my day job is I work for Ripley's Haunted Adventure. I'm the creative director there, which basically means I get to scare people on a daily basis and make all kinds of cool, schooly stuff. Like,
oh, that's cool.
I'm the low rent version of Mick Strawn, basically, if that makes sense.
That's I got to tell you, Ripley has the best name, because believe it or not, means it doesn't even have to be true. I mean, that's the great thing about it is if anybody goes, well, that's not true.
Well, anytime,
yeah, believe it or not, it's in the title. It's
anytime anyone asks me, is it worth the money? I say yes, believe it or not. That way, I have an out whether or not they enjoy themselves. So,
yeah, believe it. Yes, believe it or not.
Are you aware of I don't know if it's still there, but there's a place called Movie Writer. It's in Pigeon Forge.
That has been shut down for years.
That was one of my first jobs out of high school. I was working at Movie Writer. It was just bizarre.
We had as a kid.
I think it was Alien was the ride that we had at the time.
Yes. Oh man, so nostalgic memories.
Yes, memories. I feel so sad that it's closed down. It makes me feel old. Oh well.
Yeah. A lot of the best stuff from my childhood is gone as well. And working there is an entirely different experience. I want to kill people on a daily basis.
Yes.
The restraint I put myself through is I could probably mentally out challenge anybody on that front.
Yeah. Well, they need Mick working there. He'd scare everybody. just walking in.
Well, we did a renovation, and I was trying to convince my bosses to get this guy I knew who did a couple of movies that are pretty popular to
Some
come
great
in
sets,
and have
yeah.
a look at it, and then they decided to go the extremely cheap route, and so that's how we ended up where we are. But
and did you know that Bill in accounting has a good drafting program?
oh, okay.
Wow.
It's true. It's true.
Believe it or not.
Well, it's so much fun that you dropped by.
I'm
and
incredibly honored.
I love your logo. It's just it's cool.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying your podcast too, by the way. So everybody should follow Brandon and listen to him.
Oh, there you
and
go.
like him.
Please follow us on social media at Rants Black Lodge. You can stop by our homepage at juicykruger.com. Inside joke from the podcast.
There you go.
That's where you go. That's where you go for in somebody. Just saying. You may want to censor that out for the younger viewers. iTunes,
Yeah, like
Stitcher,
we have
Google Play, all the the places that podcasts are available. And buy one of our T-shirts at rantarmy.com. But most of all, just enjoy the podcast. And if you like our podcast, you like this one. So I think there's probably some crossover appeal between our brands, or at least I hope they are. And I'm really very honored that we're both members of the newly rebranded Project
That's
Louder.
right.
So,
We're Project Louder now.
So, anytime you guys want press and some help promoting, I'm your guy. I'll give you tips.
We're gonna get better about branding now. We're gonna work on that. So
The branding
and
method.
you're very good. You are very, very, very good at that. You are very good at
Shameless self-promotion.
shameless self-promotion. I cannot tell you how many times recently I have brought up your name in trying to get live events working.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, it's because that's the kind of promotion that absolutely works on a live event. Because for one thing, you don't drive people nuts for more than like a week and a half.
That's true.
Right? And then it's finally I had to wrap my head around it. I had to consider. I said, look, think of it this way. Think that Facebook is a river, and everybody that's getting on Facebook actually has to walk out to the end of a dock and look at the river going by, right?
Yeah.
And every time you put something out as an advertisement, it's thrown onto the middle of the river, and it goes back and it goes on down. So with that in mind, then think about how you're actually putting your advertisements out, right? And it changes people's perception of what they're doing.
What you're saying, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. And the thing is, people go out to that dock and they go, well, what about, flooding with with too much? And I go, well, that certainly is a great problem to have.
Right.
But the chances are you're not going to have it.
Well, I tell anybody that wants to get into this field, you have to treat it like a job. I mean, as much as it can be a hobby, when you're promoting and you got to take things seriously, you can't half-ass anything.
That's
you
what
put
I'm
your
doing
heart,
wrong.
your soul into it.
That's
See, I'm lazy. That's the problem.
You're right. And we have been very lazy about promotion.
I admit it. Yeah, I have been.
We need to be, both of us need to be much better at it.
And we're so good looking. We should be out there more.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hey, thanks for dropping by. Really appreciate it. Like I say, as far as podcasting and stuff, I think that you have such a great model going. I think that you need to add video to it so that we can see more of who you are.
We will see what happens going forward, but I think there will definitely be some form of video component probably by 2021. So stay tuned, everybody.
Okay, man.
Cool.
Okay, so that kind of seems like it's it.
Yeah, it wraps it up a pretty nice little tight little pretty bow. Anyway, well, thanks, Brandon. Yeah, we appreciate having you on.
Well, it's finally nice getting to talk to you, Kurt, for the first time. We've
Yeah,
Facebook friends,
Kurt-
and
This guy's awesome. He really is. He
I'll
he-
start. I mean, stop.
Don't ever try and actually get a hold of him.
Right, yeah, I'm kind of wiry. I'm like a fish. You can't really catch me sometimes.
Oh, God damn it!
Well, I have young children that kind of, well, see, we're home now, and I'm still working from home. So is my wife, and we're gonna start homeschooling apparently. So, yeah. But anyway, no, that's not my excuse. I'm just saying that I get a little distracted
Hey,
easily.
life gets in the way sometimes. I'm guilty
I have
of it as
ADD.
anybody
Doesn't
else.
help.
Yeah, right.
So there you go. Yeah, that's what Mick has to deal with. And look at what I have to deal with. See, it's amazing that this podcast is going on so long.
Yeah, would you really want to deal with this all the time?
Oh, it's worth
Okay.
it. All right, man.
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you very much, and looking forward to seeing the new show.
All right, cool,
There
man.
you go.
Thanks. Have a great night.
You too. See you guys later.
Bye.